Yo, what's going on, guys? GZTV back here with another. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not Ty Debo. My bad. We have The Walking Dead. We're nearing the halfway point to season 7. We are on episode 7 here. Obviously, the series has been over for like fucking 3 months probably by now. But hey, I went back and I'm rewatching it. I'm trying to see how this story concludes. Although, honestly, this episode is not that bad. There were definitely some boring points, but let me move over here so the image doesn't get in my face. But let's get into the plot. So Michonne walks down a single lane road whistling to attract walkers. Like, she's kind of psychotic. Like, obviously this is what an apocalypse can make a human do. She kills two walkers who she's lured and dragged their bodies away. Separately, Carl and Jesus have stowed away on the same Savior's truck as it is driven back to their base sanctuary. What the hell? Now that I think about it, what the hell is going on with Carol and Morgan? Are we not going to go back to their camp for a while? I'm not super opposed to that idea. Well, obviously Carol disbanded, but like we could at least go to their POVs. Again, I don't disapprove of that because honestly, the Carol storyline and the Morgan storyline is probably like the side quest, I guess. Yeah, Carl tricks Jesus into getting out of the truck, and he stays with it as it pulls into the sanctuary's yard, where he sees the Savior's leader Negan, several Saviors, and his friend Daryl. So they arrive at the sanctuary. Carl's in there, and he's looking to like make a stand against Negan. That's been his goal all along. Carol attempts to shoot Negan, killing two of the Saviors before he is pinned down by Dwight. It's so easy. Like, Negan is the easiest target of any villain. Like, he is the least careful, he's the least precautious, and somehow no one has killed him yet. I don't know how that's possible. And I don't know how far Negan's gonna go. I think he's gonna go all the way to like season 9. I think he's gonna be a pretty big villain in this show. Um, don't comment. Don't give me spoilers, guys. I know this show's already out. Um, Negan is impressed by Carl's bravery and escorts him through the factory floor and then introduces him to his harem of wives. He literally has like a whole fucking like room full of wives just like sitting there chilling, like drinking wine and shit. Like, it's the Negan House of Horrors. That's why I'm saying it in the thumbnail. Like, this dude is a maniac. I don't know, this dude's kind of insane. But yeah. Um There, Sherry, played by Christine Evangelista, reluctantly concedes to Negan that one of his other wives, Amber, played by Autumn Dial, has been cheating on him with her ex-boyfriend Mark, played by Griffin Freeman. So yeah, there's a bunch of new characters. Obviously, there's a decent amount of saviors that we've met. There's like Fat Joe from the truck. There's Simon. There's Dwight, Sherry, Amber, Mark. There's others, but yeah. In response, Negan admonishes Amber and tells Dwight with Daryl in tow to fire up that furnace. Someone's going to get punished, and we learn how someone gets punished the Negan way. Alone with Carl, Negan tells the boy he is trying to bond with him and asks him to remove his bandages so he can look at Carl's missing eye, coercing Carl by reminding him he killed two of his men. Like, the least you could do is take your eye patch off and show me, like, what it looks like. Like, Negan's trying to take over as kind of like a father figure for Carl, which I don't know why. Like, he has a fucking dad. I don't know why Negan's trying to do all this. Obviously, it's Negan. He's an evil bastard. I guess I can't be too surprised. But after Carl takes off the bandage, Negan humiliates him by asking if he can touch it, and Carl starts crying, and Negan backs off. He genuinely backs off. Like, he realizes this is a kid, and you gotta be kind of, like, modest with kids. You can't be all brash and stuff. Like, Carl's probably, I don't know how old he was in the show, what they, like, made him out to be. He was probably, like, 14 or 13. Probably, like, 14. Yeah, as part of paying off his debt to him, Negan asks Carl to sing to him, and Carl weakly sings "You Are My Sunshine." I feel like he's crying, he's like quivering, he's like wincing at the idea that Negan could possibly beat the shit out of him with his bat like he did with Glenn and them. This leads to Carl explaining how he had to shoot his mother to prevent her from turning. So Carl is getting pretty comfortable with Negan. Obviously, it's still an uncomfortable environment, but he's comfortable to like express all of his reveal all of his biggest secrets and stuff that he's hardly told anyone. I don't even know if he's told people in Alexandria that he did that. Later, Negan takes Carl with him to see Mark's punishment, having half his face branded with a hot iron, which we know that is exactly what happened to Dwight. Elsewhere, the survivors of Alexandria are preparing for the Savior's next tribute. Rick and Aaron are part of the one team searching for supplies, and they discover a houseboat adrift on a lake nearby, seemingly loaded with supplies, but the lake is filled with numerous walkers, so it's pretty much like a dead end. This is the part of the show where I kind of like blank out. Like I'm like, I'm not really that interested in the Alexandria part here. I'm more interested in what's going on with like Negan and the Saviors and what he's like planning with it all. They plot how they will get to the boat. Nearby, Father Gabriel and Spencer are driving along to seek supplies, so they're going on in different groups, obviously to get the job done more effectively. Spencer bitterly complains about Rick's leadership in the face of the Saviors and thinks he could be a better leader. No, you couldn't, Spencer. You've made some shitty decisions in the past. We all know. The whole Walking Dead community knows that you would not make a better leader. Gabriel is fed up with Spencer and leaves the car to go on his own. He's like, dude, I'm fucking done with you. Like, we know that Father Gabriel is like a big Rick supporter. Like, he likes Rick. Like, they've had good relationships and conversations in the past. Eugene and Rosita secretly meet in the nearby industrial machine shop Eugene had found, where Rosita demands Eugene make a bullet for her to kill Negan. She only needs one, apparently. Eugene initially refuses, believing Rosita's plan will not work, but she plays on how others have saved him several times because they feel sorry for him. And this would be the first useful thing that he has done, pretty much calling him a coward once again. That's like been a big thing among the people of Alexandria. Like Eugene, like everyone sees Eugene as this kind of like coward that can't like fight for his own. Like we're in an apocalypse and this guy's like, I don't want to kill any walkers. Like, dude, you have to adjust. But Eugene is hurt by the comments, but proceeds to make the bullet, though he refuses to listen to Rosita's apologies. Like, I know, he knows, like, that's not her intent. She doesn't care to apologize to him or anything. They are later picked up by Spencer and taken back to Alexandria. You kind of feel bad for Eugene. Obviously, he is a coward in a way, but he still has done stuff for this group. While these groups are out, Negan decides to take Carl back to Alexandria and sets off with a small group of men. Once Negan departs, Daryl finds a note slipped under a cell door that says "Go now" and the key to a motorcycle. So Daryl's storyline is kind of left in the air. We don't really talk about him anymore, but I'm assuming that's Sherry or the one girl that was like crushing on him. I think that is Sherry. As a lone savior drives down a road, she's forced to stop when she reaches a barricade of walker corpses. As the savior investigates, Michonne sneaks up on her, katana drawn, and orders the woman to take her to Negan. That's like been the whole goal of the people of Alexandria, like figure out where the sanctuary is, where Negan lives. The savior submits, having fallen into Michonne's trap, so now the people of Alexandria are trying to get numbers against Negan. At Alexandria, with Rick absent, Negan decides to wait for Rick and has Carl show him around the home they occupy so he can get kind of a feel of who he's ruling over and whatever. Carl tries to keep him from Judith's bedroom, but is unable to stop Negan from entering. He enters. He's like very intimate with the baby. Negan takes an immediate liking to Judith and later sits on the front porch, rocking her in his lap while he contemplates killing Rick and Carl and moving into Alexandria. Literally